Hello everyone, this is Dr. Syed Abdul Aleem. I'm a consultant pulmonologist at Care Hospital, Mushirabad. Today I want to discuss on influenza. Influenza in other terms is called common cold or flu. It's caused by influenza virus, which is an RNA virus. Then who are at risk? At risk individuals are especially elderly or infants or people with decreased immunity or depressed immunity, especially T cell immunity, like post-organ transplants, HIV, and renal and other liver transplant patients. So what are the symptoms? Influenza, it has varied symptoms, right from asymptomatic to common cold to full-blown influenza with bronchopneumonia, with other complications like ARDS and other things. Incubation period, like once a patient is affected with influenza virus and then when the symptom appears, that is called incubation period. That is varied from 1 to 3 days. And then adults, they remain infective till 7 days, whereas in kids, it's up to 3 weeks. And symptoms are like running nose, which is called common cold, sore throat, body pains, fever, coryza, and then cough, breathlessness. These are the common symptoms or manifestations of the influenza. And then how it is diagnosed. Based on these symptoms, the involved organ is evaluated like in the form of chest x-ray, which shows like few infiltrates or patches or bronchopneumonia to full-blown ARDS. Influenza can also cause bronchitis, bronchopneumonia, and ARDS. And it is diagnosed with the help of serology or PCR. In first week, PCR is useful. From second week onward, even serology can be used. In our India, we use PCR. What are the types of influenza virus or serotypes of influenza virus? Influenza viruses are of basically 3 serotypes, A, B, and C. A is more antigenicity. It's more dangerous. It causes more of pandemics or epidemics, whereas B and C are less severe. And then again, they are subtyped based on their surface antigens like hemagglutinin and neuraminidase. Based on that, they are subtyped with strains like H1N1 or H3N2 or H5N1, etc., etc. H5N1 is called avian flu, whereas H1N1 is called swine flu. So this influenza virus, why it is so dangerous? The reason is it undergoes mutations every year and becomes more and more powerful, more and more antigenic powerful. So because of that, it has varied symptoms, varied presentation in different individuals or heterogeneous presentation. So it undergoes mutation in carriers like avian, like birds or swine. Then in those carriers, it undergoes mutation called antigenic drift, which causes epidemics, and other shift which causes pandemics. So because of that, it is more antigenic, and that's how it becomes more powerful and resistant. And then from those carriers, it is transmitted to the human being. So H1N1, it was first noticed in Mexico, then whereas H5N1, it was noticed in poultry farm, like poultry workers of China, and from there it was transmitted to rest of the world. Then coming to management, for influenza, management is basically supportive in the form of adequate hydration. If lungs are affected, then oxygenation if required. Then few may be requiring mechanical ventilation. Sometimes it may be fatal. Most of the times it improves by itself in 7 days, whereas mortality associated with complicated influenza infection is more than 40%. So in those cases, organ-specific supports like mechanical ventilation and inotropic supports for hypotension and other things are required. Whereas specific treatment, few may require antivirals, which are oseltamivir, which is taken as 75 mg 2 times for 5 days as a part of treatment, whereas part of prophylaxis, once an individual is exposed to an infected individual but he's not having any symptoms, then in that case chemoprophylaxis or prophylactic dose is once a day for 5 days. And then coming to vaccination for influenza is killed or inactivated influenza virus which is injected, which boosts immune response of the individuals against the next infection with the same influenza virus. And in our India, available influenza vaccines are basically killed or inactivated, and they are indicated in individuals of more than 50 years of age or 6 months to 50 years who are at high risk, like post-organ transplant and HIV and other things. Whereas the newly formed live attenuated vaccination, which is given through inhalational route, it's indicated as per guidelines in between 5 to 50 years, but it should be avoided in high risk individuals.